Hey guys, I'm Rob Kelly, and these are my winter essentials. Before I dive into these 3 boards, I figured I'd tell you a little bit more about myself. First off, I'm an East Coast surfer. I live in Jersey, so I spend a lot of time surfing punchy beach breaks and trying to hunt down big tubes. I love cold water and even a cold plunge surf from time to time. But most importantly, I'm just a dad with 2 boys, so I got my hands full. That's why I'm so stoked to have my winter quiver dialed so I can capitalize on every session that I can get. After riding different boards throughout all the stages of my career, it's been awesome to be able to dive even deeper into my understanding of surfboards. Joining the Firewire family has given me the opportunity to now be involved with the prototyping and engineering process and basically just help develop shapes for how I want to surf and the waves that I want to surf. It's really the rad crew behind the brand. That's the reason we have such great board options like these. So let's dive into them. Let's start with the Dominator Pro. This model is the latest shape from Firewire and Dan Mann, and it's already becoming one of my favorite shortboards for everyday conditions. I rode this board all summer long here in Jersey and recently on a trip to China where I got to take it on a couple laps in the new Perfect Swell Reel Bay Surf Resort. The Dominator Pro is a more high performance version of the classic Dominator and Dominator 2.0. And because it originated from those 2 tried and true small wave weapons, it still carries with it a lot of the characteristics of a good groveler. Because it carries with it similar rocker and concave to the original Dominator, even though the outline looks more like a traditional performance shortboard, it's still forgiving when it comes to down the line speed and paddle power. The fact that this board is constructed using helium technology, which is super lightweight and lively underfoot, it really makes it ideal for generating speed in everyday surf. I could feel that riding it in Jersey this summer. Even on days that were barely knee high, I felt like I was still able to ride it kind of like a shortboard. And then when I took it to the pool in China the other week and surfed it on a good wave, that's where I could really feel and appreciate the adjustments Dan made to refine the original Dominator and create this more high performance version. I feel like surfing it with the new V-Lock fin set helped contribute to that performance-y feel as well. They have a nice rake template, good for drive down the line and control on your turns. Plus they're super lightweight, which helps keep the overall weight of the board down, which really aligns with the whole idea behind the helium construction as well. Both of those things really complement each other, making this like a super light, lively board. This will be the board I ride between swells all winter long and even on good waves when the wind's a little lighter. As a performance shortboard, it can go toe-to-toe with any of the boards in the lineup, but still having some of those groveler elements to it, it's kind of making it my go-to for everyday waves here on the East Coast. All right, next up, we got the brand new Spaceship model. And this has to be my favorite board in the lineup. Nothing against these 2 boards, but whenever this thing comes out, that normally means the waves are pumping, or at least there's proper swell in the water. You have to have a good tube shooter in any winter quiver. And this winter, the Spaceship is going to be that board for me. There's a lot of reasons that the Spaceship is my new go-to tube shooter. Basically, just the classic outline and this beautiful round pin that Kelly and Wu created just works really good in the barrel. This model is brand new, so I've only actually ridden it a couple sessions, but I can already tell it's got everything I want in a good tube shooter. Again, the outline is simple and sweet. It's got a nice medium rocker, which goes from the nose all the way to this beautiful rounded pintail. So the Spaceship is built in i-bolic 2.0 technology. It's a patented core technology built for performance. It offers the same speed, control, and response as the original, but with increased strength due to this engineered carbon inlay on the bottom of the deck. So it's got a little different look. To me, it's absolutely critical to have a 5-fin option on your step-up boards. That allows you to bounce back and forth between a thruster setup and a quad setup depending on the type of waves or the type of swell. On shorter period days, I like running it as a thruster because it allows you to really kind of control your speed, stall hard when you need to, or speed up when you have to. And on longer period days, where it's more kind of freight training tubes and you're just dropping in and want to go as fast as you can down the line, that's when I like to switch it to a quad. On this board, I've been running the new KSR fins, and they actually both work good as a quad and a thruster. The rake template that these fins has translates to more drive and more hold in bigger surf. When you pair the outline of the Spaceship with the rake template that the KSR fins have, this board is going to get the job done no matter how big, steep, or hollow the waves are. I feel like for the past few years, the trend was to fit as much volume into as short of a board as you could get away with. Step-ups got really short and wide, and honestly, probably a little too short and wide. I definitely got sucked into that trend too, but I feel like that trend is fading, and this model is a refreshing step back to a more traditional step-up board. But it still has a lot of the modern tech, like the i-bolic 2.0. So it's kind of a perfect balance, like I said, between old school and new school when it comes to a nice step-up board for the tube. I know I keep saying it, but I feel like you have to have a good, reliable, dependable tube shooter in your winter quiver. One that you can paddle well even when you're in all your wetsuit gear and have all that extra weight on you. One that you're confident is going to hold no matter how big, steep, or hollow the waves get. And even though I've only ridden this a couple times, I can already tell it's got all the characteristics that I look for in a good tube shooter, and I can't wait to get this thing in hopefully some proper tubes this winter. So stay tuned for that. That's the Spaceship, Carry Slider Woo. Cannot wait to ride this thing more. And then last, but certainly not least, my winter essentials, gotta have an FRK Swallow. This was in my winter essentials last year, and it would be in my spring, summer, and fall essentials if I made one. It's become the board that I surf most of the time at home until it's barreling, and the board that I take with me on every single surf trip. I've always really loved swallowtails and that pivoty feel that you get with them. On the East Coast, I feel like they're especially functional because most of the time you need a board that reacts quickly in unpredictable, punchy waves. Being able to sort of react quickly to an oncoming section or a chop or anything in sort of an imperfect wave is really valuable, and the swallowtail really allows you to sort of pivot and react quickly when you need to. The FRK is definitely a performance shortboard, but it still has some characteristics of a good groveler as well, which is nice. It's got a nice medium rocker in the nose and the tail, and I feel like the wide point is set back just ever so slightly, and that sort of allows the board to feel and ride like a true performance shortboard, but still carry speed through flat, mushy sections on smaller waves. It's similar to the Dominator Pro in the fact that it's a solid performance shortboard, but still has some subtle groveler kind of feel to it. But they both have sort of a unique feel, even though they're similar. And because the FRK Swallow is built using i-bolic construction and the Dominator Pro in the helium, they definitely have sort of unique feels, and I feel like there's certain waves in the winter where one is better than the other. So having both in the quiver is super valuable. I always pair the FRK Swallow with the KS1 fin setup, which is a more upright fin. I find that fins with a more upright template tend to have more pivot in your turns, so pairing the FRK Swallow, which already has a lot of pivot thanks to the swallowtail, with these upright fins really makes this board super responsive and just really quick to react. Because of the i-bolic construction, it's got a little bit more weight and ruggedness to it, so I find the FRK Swallow is the ideal choice on windier sessions, which you know happens a lot in the wintertime. This is a 5.7 with just over 26 liters, but I also have a 5.8 that I like to ride in the wintertime. The reason for that is because, as you know, if you've ever surfed in a 4mm with booties and gloves, wearing all that gear, it does actually add a lot of extra weight. So for that reason, I like having a winter version and a summer or a surf trip version of the FRK Swallow. If you have the means, it's actually a pretty good winter surfing hack and sort of a cheat code to get a board just for winter, keeping in mind that you're going to be feeling a little heavier with all that extra gear. And the way these boards are made, it's never been easier to figure out how to sort of size up for that winter version of your favorite board. Firewire kind of does all the work for you, and all you really have to do is just go the next size up. For me, the 5.7 is a board I'm riding on surf trips or in the spring and summer, and the 5.8 is what I ride in the wintertime when I have all that extra gear on. So if you live in the Northeast or anywhere you need extra rubber, give that hack a try. I've tried to unlock that theory in the past, ordering custom boards, but never could really quite crack the code until now. So again, I'm stoked that the way these boards are made, it's kind of created an easy solution to that problem of your boards riding different, you know, when you go from trunks to a wetsuit. So there you have it, my winter essentials. I got the Dominator Pro to motivate me to paddle out no matter what the conditions are like, the Spaceship for when it's pumping and all I want to do is get barreled, and then the FRK Swallow for all the other days in between. Hopefully that insight gave you some ideas as you start to piece together your winter quiver this season. It's pretty much that time of year, so make sure you hit up the guys at your local surf shop or head to firewiresurfboards.com and get your winter surfboard dialed in too.